Hello and welcome to Logan Field here in the Tonawanda Nation. We are proud to be bringing you some Tonawanda Braves Junior B Lacrosse as the Tonawanda Junior Braves take on the Six Nations Fire here in what should be an exciting junior matchup. Hello everyone, my name is Trevor Butts. So thrilled to be joining you here today as Tonawanda will get the first shot of the game off. It's coming from Brayley Abrams. Shot was absorbed by the Six Nations goaltender Vincent Sandy as the Six Nations Fire will get the ball up the floor for their first attack. Here come the Fire. Shot on target. Stopped by Jackson Bob Pregel. Sticking his twig out there, but it'll be a back-in call on the goaltender JBP as it'll stay with Six Nations here as the Fire goes on the attack. Into the middle. Quick shot off there from Cameron Hill Jr. is stopped. Second attempt turned away by Pregel. Good start to the game for Jackson Bob Pregel as he settles in. Now ball onto the far side. Quick shot down low, off a man in front. Brayley Abrams getting back and soaking that shot. Ball up top here for Tonawanda. Quickly onto the near side. Jonathan with a bounce shot, stopped by Sandy. Vincent Sandy has control. Will send a short outlet feed to Jesse Dirksen. Ball in the middle of the floor for Six Nations. Aubrey Henry has a man off the bench in Caven Jones. Jones goes to the far side of the floor. Lamaestoa has some room, takes the shot, stop. Second attempt saved by Pregel. Two quick saves there for Jackson Bob Pregel as he's continuing his strong efforts here for the Junior Braves off of their first win of the season over the Allegheny Junior Arrows. Ball into the near side, quickly moved to the far side. Long outside shot from Redman is stopped. Rebound snagged here by Tonawanda. Outside look there for Abrams, stopped by Sandy. Loose ball picked up by the Braves after the boot from the Fire. All three Tonawanda Junior Braves head to the bench. No one realized that they still have the ball. Outside shot there from Chucky Redman is blocked down in front. Redman picks it back up. Hits his man Brayley Abrams off the bench. Back cross floor for Redman. Winds up and fires, blocked in front. Junie Buffalo soaked that one for Six Nations as the Fire have the ball back. Here come the Fire, back on the attack, taking the shot, scoring that one with a great shot. Caleb Paulus gets the first goal of the game, and Six Nations has an early 1-0 lead. Back now as Caleb Paulus gives Six Nations the early 1-0 advantage over the Tonawanda Junior Braves. As here is Paulus with the ball in his stick, looking into the low corner for Lincoln Hill. Can't find him. Picked up by the Braves. Heavy hit behind the net. Delivered there. Everybody back up and okay, thankfully, for Tonawanda as here come the Junior Braves back down the floor. Jonathan, the ball in his stick, winds up and fires. Shot is blocked in front. John Hill got his stick in the way of Spencer Jonathan's outside look. Now here come the Fire. Ace Abrams Abrams plays the ball up for John Hill. Hill flips it for Lamaestoa onto the far side. Into the middle now. Quick shot on. Stopped by Pregel. Reese Doolittle letting the shot go from the middle of the floor for Six Nations as Tonawanda will start their breakout quickly. Kelvin Jonathan plays it into the low corner. Here's Jonathan. Gets a pick from Redmond. Now up top. Dropped by Clyde Jonathan. Loose ball still there. Chucky Redmond will be able to pick it up. Quick pass down low, deflected. Redmond looking to find Styles Jonathan. Now Smith has the ball knocked out of his stick, and it'll be a shot clock violation against the Tonawanda Junior Braves. There's Greg in the chat. Vince Sandy, a Blue Squatch member, so thank you to him for his support. As I think we might have a new favorite out on the floor if Vince Sandy is a Blue Squatch member. I know somebody I'm rooting for, as let's see how he does here as the Junior Braves going to test him on this possession, I am sure, as Redmond tries to spin away from one. Pass down low, looking for Smith. Doesn't connect, but he gets it off the boards. Now Smith's pass is picked off. Here comes John Hill. One-on-one with Redmond. Hill gets it onto his left hand. Now quickly he's going to be swarmed to, and his pass will go back over, and Tonawanda will look to play it quickly here. Great chance for the Braves. Shot on is stopped. Rebound in the crease. And possession will go to Six Nations, as we'll try and give you a quick look at that latest opportunity that was stopped as Tonawanda nearly able to get their first goal of the game, but Vincent Sandy says no. Here come the Fire back the other way. Paulus goes down low. Shot on from Doolittle is stopped by Pregel. Possession stays with Six Nations as the Fire are going to pull this ball back out. Paulus goes to Jones on the far side. Kevin Jones back to Paulus. Low shot just wide of the net. Pregel got a piece of it, however, so it will be a reset for Six Nations. Here comes Lincoln Hill off the bench. Into the middle for Kevin Jones. Now back to the near side. Paulus gets into the middle. Paulus takes a big hack. Another shot on there. Stopped this time by Jackson Bob Pregel as Nathan Lamaestoa let it go. Hill going to apply some pressure in the corner. Tonawanda able to keep possession though. Kelvin Jonathan helping to bring the ball up the floor. Now Smith in the middle. Had a hat trick last week. Slipped a bit there as he passes the ball over to his teammate Kelvin Jonathan. Jonathan has an ISO look. Jonathan gets to the front of the net, takes it and scores. That's a great play made there by Kelvin Jonathan to open up the scoring for Tonawanda. And it's a 1-1 game, as you could see Jonathan in the ISO look, his man watching him in Miller. Didn't have much of play there as Jonathan able to get past him with ease, gets to the front of the net and makes no mistake. Kelvin Jonathan ties this game up at one. Chance the other way from Hill is stopped by Pregel as John Hill throwing one at the net, nearly able to beat Pregel there as this ball hits the turf, picked back up by the Junior Braves. Here's Daniel Fields on the attack. Fields in the middle. Spencer Jonathan scores! Perfectly placed bouncer from Spencer Jonathan, and it's 2 in a row for Tonawanda. The Junior Braves now in front, and there you can see Jonathan left alone in the middle of the floor. Defender comes out, tries to knock him off balance, but no problem for Spencer Jonathan. Bounces it right past the left arm of Sandy into the back of the net. And just like that, the Tonawanda Junior Braves have a 2-1 lead over the Six Nations fire. Here's Kelvin Jonathan, the man who opened up the scoring for Tonawanda in this one. Inside for Smith. Nice save by Sandy. That was an excellent kick save there by Vincent Sandy to keep that ball out of the back of the net. Now he'll set a pick for his man, Longboat, coming around the net. Ball up the floor now for Reese Doolittle in the middle. Instead, it'll be Caven Jones who goes to Cameron Hill Jr. Hill with outside look. Stopped by Pragle. Ball will stay right in the crease of Jackson Bob Pragle, allowing for Kelvin Jonathan to come pick it up uninterrupted. Ball up now for Fields, down low. Looking for a shot. Stopped there by Sandy. Styles Jonathan had the chance in front, but Sandy denies him. Ball on the far side, knocked to the turf by Chucky Redmond. His teammates love that. Here's Redmond now in transition. Stopped by Sandy. But a push in the back will keep the ball with Tonawanda, and the Junior Braves starting to feel the momentum a bit here. Penalty will be assessed to Six Nations on the play, as it'll be a 2-minute minor for slashing going up against Darris Sundown. First time today we'll see the Tonawanda power play as the Junior Braves look to try and make this a 2-goal lead here after trailing 1-0 only a few minutes ago. Jonathan, outside shot, stopped. Second attempt, they score. Chucky Redmond buries the second chance opportunity, and the Tonawanda Braves strike on the power play. They lead it 3-1. And you could see the initial stop made by Sandy, but Redmond left all alone on the crease as the shots now draw even at 13 apiece here as we are midway through the first period of play, almost midway through. No, the scoreboard's not frozen on your screen, folks. It just isn't running. 10:08 is stuck on the clock as the Junior Braves go on the attack. Shot stopped by Sandy. Rebound picked up by the Braves. Jonathan in the middle has it knocked. As the clock's still not running here, so getting some bonus lacrosse as Six Nations bring the ball over the halfway line. Flipped into the middle, Cameron Hill Jr. Now into the near side. Paulus gets it off the bench. Caleb Paulus goes to the far side. Aubrey Henry gets a pick. Flip down low. Shot on. Stopped by Pragle. Caven Jones looking to beat Jackson Bob Pragle to the low corner, but Jackson Bob says no. As here comes the Junior Braves back up the floor. Aiden Weisbrot moving in transition. Outside look there for Jonathan is stopped. Rebound in front as Chucky Redmond knocked to the floor. Will allow Six Nations to have the possession as they throw it down the floor. Peter Sheehan will pick it up, as that is a wasted possession here for the Fire so far. Sheehan's got to get it over, though. Ends up now with Jackson Bob Pragle as he's going to throw it off the boards. Tonawanda will be able to get it back over the halfway line as they have possession now. Driving in is Jonathan. Pass down low is deflected behind the net. Loose ball snagged by Redmond. Redmond with a low shot goes wide. Looking to try and get a reset, but not going to happen on that attempt, as possession will now go with Six Nations. Here's Paulus on a break. Takes the shot, but put it wide. Oh, man. Caleb Paulus, his fakes were good, but the shot was not, as he had Pragle beat and just couldn't get it on target. Can't give him any more opportunities like that because I can guarantee you the next one he's not going to miss. Ball knocked to the turf there by Braley Abrams. Abrams having to fight against 2 Fire players to pick it up in the corner, and he's not going to win that matchup. Lamaestua picks it up for Six Nations, but he'll lose control out near midfield. Lamaestua battling for it, working against Redmond. Instead, it'll be Caven Jones who scoops it up as possession now secured by the Six Nations Fire. Ball played to the near side of the floor. Cameron Hill Jr. driving to the net, gets to the net, looking to beat Pragle short side. But Jackson Bob Pragle says not today. Here's Palazzi. Peyton Palazzi goes to Genesee Community College, a goalie for GCC as Spencer Jonathan takes the shot, turned away by Sandy into the corner. Fields scooping up the loose ball. Fields loses control now as Six Nations has it going back the other way. Ground on a break, takes the shot, deflects wide as possession will stay or will go to Tonawanda. We'll try and give you a quick look at the breakaway opportunity here for Jonas Ground. Just missed that one as Tonawanda now with just over 7 minutes remaining here in the first period of play. Take an outside shot there. Braley Abrams puts it right into the chest of Vincent Sandy. Loose ball here, swatted at, but picked up by Six Nations. Hill on a break, shot, stopped by Pragle. Another breakaway save for Jackson Bob Pragle as Tonawanda looking to push the pace here. Ball played into the middle, low to high rip there from Stiles. Jonathan goes wide. Possession secured by Braley Abrams. Smith takes it, blocked in front. Jasser Miller taking one for the team there as he soaked that shot from the Braves' Jake Smith as the long attempt will go up and wide. Possession secured by the Fire as Jagger Miller, the man who blocked that one, as he'll feel that tomorrow as Six Nations goes back on the attack. Ball on the near side for Paulus. Played to the far side. Jones. Now Paulus looking in front. Behind the back feed. Goes outside. Shot on from Henry is wide. Not how the Fire drew it up, but they still got a look that they were looking for. Regan thought about pushing the transition. Decides better of it here as another player for Genesee Community College sends the pass down low. 35 GBs and 31 caused turnovers in his GCC career for Kieran Regan as Six Nations back on the attack now. Ace Abrams plays it into the middle. Caleb Paulus has some room, takes the shot right into the stick of Jackson Bob Pragle as he read that one rather easily as now Tonawanda. Braley Abrams flips it to the far side. Kieran Regan goes to Abrams. Jake Smith down low. Quickly to the far side. Chucky Redmond. Outside shot. Stopped by Sandy. Short pass from Sandy. Finds Anthony Longboat. Longboat sends it forward. Knocked out of the stick of Reese Doolittle, but he picks it back up with just under 5 minutes to go here in the first period of play. The Six Nations Fire opened up the scoring in this game, but they have been held quiet since. The last 3 goals coming from the Tonawanda Junior Braves. Long outside shot, nearly winds up in there. Oh my goodness, what happened here? That deflects up and off the crossbar as Tonawanda going to bring it up the floor. A look from way downtown from Henry. Ooh, that one nearly got past JBP. I think that would have given him nightmares if that ended up in the back of the net. Quick shot on from Jonathan is stopped. Possession now secured by Tonawanda, but into the crease goes Jonathan as that ball stuck on the back of the net. And possession will go to Six Nations. Second time these two teams have met this year. Both meetings coming here at Logan Field. The Six Nations Fire victorious in the previous meeting, 13-12. As the outside shot there from Paulus is stopped. And now Tonawanda will break out up the floor. Weisbrot really able to push the ball in transition here for the Junior Braves. Has the ball knocked out of his stick, picked up by Clyde Jonathan, but possession will go to Tonawanda. Here's the Fire. Pass is missed into the middle. Loose ball secured in the corner by Zach Siska. Siska was under no real pressure there, able to play it forward for Chucky Redmond. He's got to go in this one. Redmond gets to the front. Shot is stopped there by Sandy. I'm not sure how he kept that one out. Long pass doesn't connect here for the Fire, as it might be another turnover. We'll have to wait and see. Yes, it is. Possession snagged there by Jaron Moses, the former Fire. Chucky Redmond has the ball in his stick, has some room, takes a shot, deflects up and out of play after hitting the leg pad of Vincent Sandy. Redmond in the corner, goes up top for Daniel Fields. Fields over to the near side, Braley Abrams looking for him to get hot in this one. Spencer Jonathan was ready to shoot but lost the ball. Fields able to get possession back for Tonawanda. Fields has some time, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Speaking of 10, Kelvin Jonathan rips it wide. Loose ball fought for here. Spencer Jonathan going to deliver some hacks and whacks as Six Nations had possession, so it will be a reset now for the Junior Braves. Braley Abrams had it down low. Pass goes up top now for Kelvin Jonathan. Redmond up top. Spencer Jonathan loses control of that one again. Now Paulus on a break. Don't give him these opportunities. Here's Paulus. Stopped by Prego. Oh my goodness. One-on-one, all alone. Caleb Paulus stopped by Jackson Bob Prego to keep this a 3-1 game. A big save on one end leads to a goal at the other for the Tonawanda Junior Braves as they take a 4-1 lead. And you could see fresh off of the big save from Jackson Bob Pragel, Tonawanda able to get the ball up the floor, and then time and room is the key for Kelvin Jonathan as he steps in and buries that one past Sandy. And Tonawanda has got 4 unanswered goals here in the first period. As Jackson Bob Pragel will get credited with an assist there. As now Kelvin Jonathan looking for 2 in a row, and he scores! All the momentum with the Tonawanda Junior Braves right now. It's a 5-1 lead. And here you get another look at the man with the red hot stick right now, Kelvin Jonathan. An outside look that gets past Sandy for his hat trick goal. At least his second in a row here for the Tonawanda Junior Braves. And just like that, it is a 5-1 advantage for Tonawanda as they are back on the attack looking for more. Smith had a big game last week against the Allegheny Junior Arrows. Had 3 in that game for the Junior Braves. Now Jonathan outside shot, just bounced wide. Loose ball picked up by Junie Buffalo. Buffalo trying to fight through some checks, but he can't control that one. Spencer Jonathan takes it away, looking to flip it over to Kelvin Jonathan. Those two not quite on the same page, but Jonathan picks it back up. As now here's some room. Abrams, face dodge, gets to the net, he scores! A snipe from Braley Abrams as he beats Sandy to the left side of the net. A great finish there from Braley Abrams. It is a 6-1 lead for the Tonawanda Junior Braves. Let's get another look at it here. Braley, great face dodge, gets to the front, beats Sandy hip high to the near side, and all of a sudden, it is a 6-1 lead for the Tonawanda Junior Braves, who are putting on a statement right now as that shot goes wide of the net from Aubrey Hill. And what a first period of play for the Tonawanda Junior Braves as they take a big 6-1 lead over the Six Nations Fire here on Blue Squatch Productions. We would just like to make sure we say thank you to our lovely sponsors here today before we step aside, as we'd like to thank Peachtree Dispensary, the little shed in the woods down at 420 Bloomingdale Road on the Tonawanda Seneca Nation. Be sure to check them out. As we step aside, the shots for each team's tied up at 24 apiece here at the end of one. The score at the end of one, the Tonawanda Junior Braves 6, the Six Nations Fire 1, here on Blue Squatch Productions.
Get in there and clean it.
Jace, can you drop down?
When I'm driving in the trees, I feel nothing. Thanks, Spence. Can you do me a favor though? Go back towards the tee and that O there. Little bit. Makes you kind of more evenish. You can go no, right there. Right there. Don't move. Don't move. You're almost the same height. Right there.
Trevor Butts down on the floor with Kelvin Jonathan of the Tonawanda Junior Braves. And Kelvin, you had a great first period there, 3 goals for you. Just tell everybody what you were seeing out there on the floor.
I'm kind of just giving what the defense is giving me. Whatever lanes they take, I'm going to try and take it. Whatever shot they give me, I'm going to try and shoot it. Just got to keep working, you know. Our lefties and everyone on the offense is just working and getting each other open, so that's kind of where our looks are coming from.
Now, we mentioned the great period for you as an individual, but of course your team up 6-1. You guys are looking like a well-polished unit out there. What do you guys got to do to keep this going into the second and third?
We just can't be too high, you know, not too high, not too low, and keep the ball moving, keep the defense going, and we'll come out with the win, period by period.
Kelvin Jonathan down on the floor. Kelvin, thank you so very much for your time. Best of luck the rest of the way. Trevor Butts down on the floor saying so long for now during the first intermission. The score, the Tonawanda Junior Braves 6, the Six Nations Fire 1. Back here on Blue Squatch Productions as Tonawanda trying to get things going quickly here. The Junior Braves with a quick shot off of the face-off, but he's unable to get it in the back of the net as Six Nations goes back the other way, looking for an opportunity for themselves as the Fire going to pick it back up and have possession. Man off the bench, flipped in the middle, Jones. Long shot from Paulus off the left shoulder of Pregel, but no Fire there to grab it. So Tonawanda has possession. Ball now knocked down. Taken away here by Six Nations. Pass into the middle. Behind the back shot. Stopped by Pregel. Credit for Cameron Hill Jr. to try and take that ball away from Tonawanda as the Braves were trying to get up the floor in transition. Hill Jr. stuck with it and did his best to make a play as Jake Smith will send the long pass up for Braley Abrams. Now into the near side of the floor. Daniel Fields into the middle. Spencer Jonathan with a low drive. Just wide of the net. Loose ball in front, picked up by Smith on his offside. Nearly able to find that bottom corner. And a penalty will be assessed here to Six Nations, much to the delight of the Tonawanda bench. As for the second time today, Darius Sundown will head to the sin bin. Let's see if we caught that here. And I think it was that extra slash delivered there by Sundown that did it. And it will be a roughing call that'll give Tonawanda their second power play of the game. Six Nations got to be careful with the penalties. Tonawanda 1 of 1 on the man advantage. Abrams, Spencer Jonathan, now Braley Abrams. Over to the near side, Kelvin Jonathan. Low drive from Spencer Jonathan is stopped as I believe that's Talum Sandy now in between the pipes for Six Nations as both goaltenders getting some work in this game for the Fire. As Six Nations looks to try and find a way back into this game. A shorty would go a long way into doing so. Fire got the first goal of the game, but they have been held silent since. 6 straight Junior Braves goals, and a power play, or another penalty, excuse me, will be coming up to Six Nations as the power play will go to a 5-on-3 advantage here for Tonawanda for the next minute and 8 seconds as a low slash delivered there by Caven Jones, a few of them catching the Tonawanda player on the thighs, as I think that was Zach Siska who was on the receiving end of those slashes, and now a 5-on-3 advantage here for the Junior Braves. Big chance here for Tonawanda to really blow this game open. Spencer Jonathan up top for Braley Abrams. Down low, shot there from Smith goes wide. Loose ball picked up by Tonawanda. Quick stick shot there from Smith is fanned on. Loose ball knocked into the middle, picked up by the Fire. Spinning away from one is John Hill, sending a long pass forward, looking to try and find his man Reese Doolittle, but it bounces up out of play. Braley Abrams going to start this power play back up here for Tonawanda. Abrams winds up and fires, but wide of the net, off the boards, and rests on the back netting. 15 seconds remain in the initial penalty to Six Nations as that long pass connects. Good work there by Ace Abrams to secure that pass, as Abrams will look to fight off a few checks and wait for one of his teammates to get out of the penalty box, as it's going to be some traffic over there as Sundown heads out of the box. And for the first time tonight, Tonawanda does not score on the man advantage. They're now 1 for 2, but still 5-on-4 here. Fields takes a shot and scores! A picture-perfect snipe for Daniel Fields, his first of the game, and it's a 7-1 lead for the Junior Braves. And here you'll get to see Daniel Fields, all kinds of time and room under no sort of defensive pressure, picks the top right corner perfectly for his first goal of the game. 7-1, the advantage now for the Tonawanda Junior Braves as they lead Six Nations here in the second period of play. And the faceoff goes to Tonawanda, so the Junior Braves back looking for more here as they go on the attack once more. Kelvin Jonathan got to talk with him at the end of the first period of play. Picks up the loose ball here after the Chucky Redmond shot. Pass in the middle. Brayley Abrams looking to beat Sandy 5-hole, but Talon Sandy says no. Loose ball snagged by Dirksen. Dirksen comes around the crease into the middle. Under some heavy pressure here. Smith looking to jar the ball free along with Palizé, but Dirksen, like a bull in a china shop, just puts his shoulder down and runs through him. Good work being done by him as Dirksen helps to secure the possession, but time quickly running out as Paulus knocked from behind into the boards by Abrams. And now Tonawanda fans claiming for a late shot from Paulus, not going to get a call as the Junior Braves will bring the ball up the floor. Here's Abrams. Got to see Brayley Abrams with the Senior Braves at some points this year, and I'll tell you what, he looked real good with the senior team. Didn't look out of place at all. So he's definitely somebody to keep your eye on, not only in this game, but as the years go on, he is going to be one heck of a player as Smith nearly able to quick stick that one into the bottom corner. Long pass from Sandy connects. Shot stopped by Pregel. Sandy was able to hit John Hill in transition on the break, but Jackson Bob Pregel denies him once again. As the ball makes it to the near side, Kelvin Jonathan into the middle. Smith back for Jonathan. Gets a pick. Now Spencer Jonathan behind the back, shot goes wide. Loose ball in front, secured by Sandy as he will send a long outlet pass forward. Looking for Doolittle. Instead it'll go short and stay with Bowden Hill. Bowden Hill hits a man off the bench in Lincoln Hill. His pass doesn't connect. Instead, it'll go into the corner, and Jaron Moses will pick it up. Moses gonna leg the ball up the floor now. Moses flips for Brayley Abrams. Abrams onto the near side now. Kelvin Jonathan. A hat trick in this one for Jonathan. Now Styles Jonathan up top. Outside shot is soaked there by Jesse Dirksen. Now Dirksen in transition. Takes the shot. He scores! Grit and hard work paying off there for Jesse Dirksen as he scores in transition for Six Nations, and the Fire get their second goal of the game. And there you can see the end of it there, and an excellent celly from Dirksen as he finishes a better look at it there, putting it just past Jackson Bob Pregel for the second Six Nations Fire goal of the game.
Six Nations goal, scorer number 6, Jesse Dirksen, unassisted.
Great for Jesse Dirksen to get his first of the game. Love seeing the D guys get rewarded for their efforts as he's made a few notable plays in this one that don't really show up on the stat sheet. So good for him. Glad he was able to get the opportunity and made no mistake as Jackson Bob Pregel has been a tough man to beat tonight. But Jesse Dirksen able to get the second Six Nations Fire goal of the game and stop the bleeding here for the Fire as it was 7 straight for Tonawanda to take the 7-1 lead at one point, now 7-2 as Doolittle gets it into the middle. Man off the bench here, shot is stopped as Lamaestua nearly able to get that one past Pregel, looking to beat him to the short side. And now too many men will be called. And the penalty will be coming up here against Tonawanda. And for the first time today, we'll get to see the Six Nations Fire power play. As going to sit is William Vandenbosch. Ball is up top and started with Ace Abrams. Here it is again. Now into the far side for Paulus. Into the low corner and dropped by Hill, but picked back up. Now Paulus. Back up top. Abrams. Abrams passes it off. Jones. Now back to Abrams. Paulus looking for the shot. Toe drag. Pass down low. Shot is stopped by Pregel. The quick stick shot down low. Denied by Jackson Bob Pregel. Can see more and more teams trying to do that and make that play work. Such a tough play, as everything has got to be in sync for it to work, as we have seen not only throughout this season, but you could see it during the NLL season as well. The Bandits would try that play seemingly every game, and maybe it works once, but so tough to get it to work multiple times in a game. As now the shot stopped by Talum Sandy, as Six Nations will get back into the attacking zone with under a minute to play on their power play. Little over 11 minutes left in the second period, 51 seconds in the penalty, as the outside shot is stopped by Pregel, and a quick possession there for the Fire. Junior Braves going to send a long low pass up, looking for Braley Abrams, who's going to be able to secure that one. Playing a little hockey with it was Braley Abrams, but he's got possession. Splits the D. Abrams looking to get the shot off, but ball knocked to the floor. Jonathan, great stick skills to get the chance, but Sandy makes the save. Long pass here now connects for the Fire. Cameron Hill Jr. will slow things down. And now flip it for Paulus. Paulus with a low drive, stopped by Pregel. Gets his own rebound and a fresh 30. Shot on there, goes wide. Rebound falls right into the stick of Abrams, and they're going to call him on a back in, as possession will stay with the Fire, but the penalty has been killed by Tonawanda, and the Six Nations Fire fall to 0-1 on the man advantage. On the year, the Fire have a 4-1 record. Their lone defeat of the season comes in a 14-11 loss against the Tuscarora Junior Tomahawks. And the last time these two teams met, as we have a penalty coming up here against Six Nations, was a Fire win. As this one sneaks in. What a shot from Aiden Weisbrot to give Tonawanda an 8-2 lead, as he enjoyed the celly. Weisbrot beats Sandy to the 5-hole and lets the crowd know. And as I was starting to say, last time these two teams met, it was a entertaining game that went the way of Six Nations. Tonawanda trying to get it to go in their favor, as the Junior Braves look to get their second win on the season and second in a row, coming off their first win of the year, as Jonathan scores. Spencer Jonathan adds another. It's all Tonawanda right now. Here's Spencer Jonathan able to fire that ball into the low corner. An excellent shot there from the big man for Tonawanda, and it is a 7-goal lead for the Junior Braves. Shots very even, 35-34, as another chance for Tonawanda. Braley Abrams right off the draw, and the Braves are rolling here in the second. And we'll get another look at it. A great flip forward to Braley Abrams, as he's able to somehow control the pass and beat Sandy to the low corner, as now a penalty coming up against the Six Nations Fire, as Jonas Ground will sit for delay of game.
Tonawanda starts with the ball.
So the Tonawanda Junior Braves will start with the ball, as the penalty came right after a goal. So no face-off necessary here for the Tonawanda Junior Braves, as they look to try and pick up their 11th goal of this game and widen the margins here. It is 8-goal lead right now for the Junior Braves. Let's see if they can increase that here. Ball in the corner and picked up by Kelvin Jonathan. Jonathan, skip pass up top, his shot is blocked. Loose ball picked up, deflected by Doolittle. Second attempt was stopped in front. All kinds of chaos in front of the Six Nations net, but it works out for the Fire as they're able to get the ball up the floor as they try to kill off some time on this penalty. Not going to do it like that as the ball ends up in the stick of a Brave. James Messer flips it forward. Harlan Jacobs has control but loses it. Pass picked off. Jones gets it up into the attacking zone, has a touch, and passes it off to Paulus. Caleb Paulus goes into the middle of the floor. Ace Abrams, long shot, stopped by Pregel as he'll send the pass forward. Here come the Junior Braves on the far side. Zach Siska gonna leave it for Braley Abrams in the middle. Abrams, bounce pass to the near side. 37 seconds remain in the Six Nations penalty. Smith has the ball in the corner, flips it for Jonathan. Abrams up top looking for Redmond, who drops it, picks it back up. Jonathan looking for the low corner, can't find it. Possession now with Six Nations after the shot clock violation. Cameron Hill Jr. trying to back down his man, is pushed right back the other way. Hill Jr. still has the ball, faked the behind the back pass. Not fooling anyone. Sheehan watching him closely. Hill Jr. receives a cross check, gets a pick. Now gonna go and run. Hill Jr. with a shot off the crossbar. Close look there for Cameron Hill Jr. as he rings the iron. Ball on the near side. Looking for a shot there was Abrams. Now for Hill Jr. again, his shot goes wide. Abrams looking to push in transition. Abrams against Abrams. It goes for Ace instead of Braley on this occasion. Paulus looking 5-hole. Can't beat Pregel there. Another great game here from Jackson Bob Pregel. He loves the bright lights and the cameras, as a great game for him last time when we were here in the Junior Braves victory over Allegheny. 9-6 win. Only 6 getting by Jackson Bob Pregel. Right now, only 2 have gotten past him, as that ball knocked out of the stick of a Brave as Kelvin Jonathan looks to try and pick it back up. He will, but possession will stay with Tonawanda as a reset was given. Outside shot there is stopped as Smith let it go. Pass caroms out of play. An unforced error there for the Fire. Let's see if the Junior Braves are able to take advantage with under 6 to play. Ball onto the near side for Chucky Redmond. Into the middle. Spencer Jonathan. Shot is stopped. Sandy with another nice save. And now a penalty will be assessed to Styles Jonathan, as he will go for an illegal cross-check call, as we'll try and give you a look at it here. You You could see the shot there from Spencer Jonathan, and there's the illegal cross-check right at the end of the play, I believe, has got him a little low. So a power play here for the Six Nations Fire. Second time today, the Fire are on the man advantage. Abrams plays catch with Paulus. Paulus gets to the front, stopped by Pregel. Loose ball picked up by Siska. Siska gets a pick. Now trying to bring it forward now. Siska fighting off one man. Going to be pressed up against the boards. Now he's got two Fire up against him. And possession will stay with Tonawanda, courtesy of the great effort from Zach Siska. Hayden Weisbrot already has one today, looking for another. Hits Brayley Abrams in the back, and his pass is picked off, but it was in the crease, so it's a back in, and possession will stay with Tonawanda. Was about to say that couldn't have went any worse for the Junior Braves there, but the back end call will save them here as possession stays with Tonawanda as they look to try and kill some more time off of the clock from the Styles Jonathan penalty. Chucky Redman gonna go around behind the net. Now on his offside, switches back, takes a shot short side, but stopped by Talum Sandy. Here's Paulus. 36 seconds remain in the Six Nations power play. Ball onto the near side. Jones takes the shot, but Jackson Bob Pregel says no. Here's Brayley Abrams. He's looking for his hat trick. Two already for Abrams. He's going to try and drive to the net. Good defense there from John Hill to ward off Abrams. Now here is Abrams, being closely watched by John Hill all the way out past the restraining line. Abrams, swim move past him, and a penalty coming up against Six Nations. And now we will give you a look at the penalty to the Six Nations Fire as the Braves able to kill off their own penalty. And one too many whacks delivered by John Hill. And right there you can see the arm go up from the official. And so by my count, the fourth time today, the Tonawanda Junior Braves will head to the man advantage. They, at one point, had a penalty, or were going to have a power play, but were able to score before the power play would have taken effect. So not counting that one don't count, I believe, as I have them at 2 for 3. Either way, a great ratio here for the Junior Braves as they go on the attack. Passes picked off. Redmond plays it into traffic. Anthony Longboat picks him off. Now Doolittle looking to regain control of that one. He's going to have to fight off Harlan Jacobs. Jacobs knocks it into the middle of the floor for Kelvin Jonathan to pick it up. Jonathan able to get it forward now. Chucky Redmond will slow things down. Tonawanda going for a hidden ball trick. Ball is with Jonathan at the top. But Sandy makes a save. Another save for Talum Sandy as I could see Sandy looking towards Redmond, and I think the Six Nations defense thought Redmond had the ball, but shot just a second or two late from Spencer Jonathan, or else that hidden ball trick would have worked to perfection there for the Braves. Smith applying some pressure here for Tonawanda as he helps to force the errant pass, which leads to the turnover. Kelvin Jonathan as well contributed as he has the ball in his stick. He'll play catch with Redmond. Now Jonathan into the middle. Brayley Abrams back for Jonathan. Kelvin Jonathan looking for the low corner. Can't find it here. Thought the ball went up out of play off the netting, but officials say no, and possession will be fought for here behind the net. The Fire have it as they're bringing the ball up the floor, and a penalty will come up against the Tonawanda Junior Braves as lucky Anthony Longboat draws that call, much to the dismay of Spencer Jonathan, as we will take another look at it here. You can see Longboat coming around the crease as the shot's now 44-40 in favor of Tonawanda, as this has been quite the even game on the floor, but the scoreboard says otherwise. A 10-2 lead for the Tonawanda Junior Braves, as Six Nations have had a tough time beating Jackson Bob Prego and creating the good looks on this stout Tonawanda defense. Looking for a chance there. Kick save and a beauty from Prego. Here come the Junior Braves, now shorthanded. Ball down low for Tonawanda. Looking for the shot there was Fields, but he can't get that one on net. Penalty did expire to Six Nations, so 5-on-4 here. Kelvin Jonathan looking to create some room, passes it down low for Stiles, but he's going to run out of time before he can pick that one up. Shot clock violation against Tonawanda. Here come the Fire. Caleb Paulus goes into the middle. Ace Abrams now into the near side. Caven Jones. Paulus looking for Lamaesto, but he can't hang on to that one. Long pass forward here for Tonawanda. Siska on a break. Siska with a shot. Ball knocked out of his stick. Great check there from Ace Abrams to knock that one free, as a Tonawanda kid comes back to take the chance away from Siska. Down to the near side. Shot there from Henry is denied by Prego. Ball goes out of play, and possession will stay with Six Nations with under a minute to play here in the second period. Toe drag there from Paulus as a penalty coming up against Tonawanda. Chance now for Jones as the shot is stopped, but Harlan Jacobs will have to head to the sin bin here, as now the Junior Braves starting to find themselves in some penalty trouble. That was the thing that hampered their play in the Allegheny game. Can't let it do the same thing here, as there you can see the penalty to Tonawanda's Harlan Jacobs, as it'll be a 5-on-3 here for 13 seconds for the Fire. Shot from Abrams is stopped, as the 5-on-3 will expire before the end of the period. So Six Nations will start the second period on the power play, as that pass is picked off. Sandy has to make the long save there, as Brayley Abrams let the long shot go. But at the end of 2 periods of play, it is a big 10-2 lead for the Tonawanda Junior Braves over the Six Nations Fire. As before we will step aside, just want to make sure we say thank you to our great sponsors, Peachtree Dispensary, the Little Shed in the Woods at 420 Bloomingdale Road on the Tonawanda Seneca Nation. Be sure to stop by there and check out all the great things that they have to offer. As we will quickly here, before we step aside, give you a look at the First Nations Junior B Lacrosse League standings entering today's game. As you can see out in front in the First Nations League, the Tuscarora Junior Tomahawks, lead with a 5-1 record. The Six Nations Fire sit in second place. They have a 4-1 record, 8 points on the year. The powerhouse Seneca War Chiefs sit in third at the moment. Only 2 games played for the War Chiefs so far, but they won them both. They are 2-0. The Tonawanda Junior Braves 1-4, could be well on their way to picking up win number 2 on the season if everything stays the way it has been going currently. And then the Allegheny Junior Arrows round out the 5 teams here. They have a 1-7 record. As we will now step aside, the score one more time: the Tonawanda Junior Braves 10, the Six Nations Fire 2.
Glad you could be here tonight. Concession stand, go ahead and swing, step on in. A lot of specials going on over there. Glad you could be here tonight in Loganfield. Glad I'm not the only one for mosquito bit.
Trevor Butts down on the floor with Jonas Ground from the Six Nations Fire. And Jonas, you guys are down 10-2 here heading into the third. What do you guys got to do to get back into this game?
Find a spark, you know, get something to get us going, get mad, you know, get heated up.
You guys have run into a hot goalie in this game. Jackson Bob Pragel's been great for Tonawanda. You know, as a unit and as a team, what do you guys have to do to try and find a way past him?
Do whatever we can to put the ball in the net, you know. I can find a way past them.
And now we could hear some of the junior Braves, you know, having some friendly words with you as we walk over to start the interview. You're a former Tonawanda guy yourself. Tell everybody what it's like for you now being on the other side of this budding rivalry here with Six Nations now.
It's just like no other, you know. I mean, there's no friends on the field, but afterwards it's just different, you know. We're still boys, you know. But on the field, it's war.
It's been a war all game long between the Six Nations Fire and the Tonawanda Junior Braves. Be sure to stay tuned as we got one more great period coming up shortly.
Okay.
Trevor Butts down on the floor with Ace Abrams from the Six Nations Fire. And Ace, you know, you're a great attackman on this Six Nations team. What do you guys got to do to find the back of the net here in the third?
Just, you know, get the goalie moving. You know, he's I know Jackson Bob personally, so I know he's a good goalie. So we just got, I know what we can do to beat him. So we just got to get the ball moving and find him back of the net.
Now, you said you know Jackson Bob personally, then you know as well how great of a goalie he is. You guys have run into a hot goalie. How do you find a way to get him moving a bit more and, you know, get those goals to start to trickle in?
You know, just constant ball movement. You know, it's well, once you start moving the ball a whole lot more and you get the goalie moving, you find open shots, you just got to put them back in the net.
And now I'm going to ask you a similar question that I asked Jonas. You guys both former Tonawanda guys. What's it like now being on the other side of this budding rivalry here with Six Nations and playing against some familiar faces?
It's very different. You know, I'm used to playing with all, you know, I treat Tonawanda like they're my brothers, and it's just fun to play against them. I know. I mean, it is kind of hard. It is kind of hard to play against them because they know who I am. So it's kind of hard. Kind of hard just to get past them. They're a very good team.
The Junior Braves are a good team, but so are the Six Nations Fire, as we've had a great game here at Logan Field today. One more big period coming up shortly here on Blue Squatch Productions.
Okay. That filter good for now too? Or are you going to change it one more time?
Back now on Blue Squatch Productions as we start the third period of play here from Logan Field in Tonawanda on the Tonawanda Nation as the Junior Braves lead the Six Nations Fire by a 10-2 scoreline here in what has been an impressive performance for the Junior Braves this season. They have been great here tonight. A team that's had some struggles throughout the year. That's why they have the 1-4 record, but that could change here tonight if they're able to hang on to this result and get the win. As before we get too far into this period, just want to make sure we say thank you to Peachtree Dispensary, this little shed in the woods, for all their support of Tonawanda Junior Braves Lacrosse. You can check them out at 420 Bloomingdale Road here on the Tonawanda Seneca Nation. As didn't get to play the sponsorship ads as much as I would have liked to in the intermission, but we got some extra interviews for you. Got to have a couple quick chats with Jonas Ground and Ace Abrams from the Six Nations Fire. Two very nice young men, both former Tonawanda Braves, Junior Braves, as they're now on the other side of this rivalry. Got to get a look into that and everything that comes with being now on the other side of the rivalry. Always interesting when you're playing against some of your buddies that you've grown up playing with. It's something that is bound to happen if you stay in the game long enough, and these guys are starting to experience that here as Six Nations looks to try and get something going here. They are having all kinds of trouble as Jackson Bob Pregel has really gotten the best of the Fire so far in this game. 10-2 here in the third period of play, just under 2 minutes into, or just over 2 minutes into the period, as the clock now reads 17:53, as Tonawanda will have the possession here in the third. I'd like to thank all 54 of you out there watching, and thank you for making us a part of your Thursday evening here at Logan Field, as this has been quite the matchup here between the Tonawanda Junior Braves and the Six Nations Fire, as now Smith gets in front looking for Jonathan. Another chance, no goal. Brayley Abrams has that one taken away. We'll give you a look at it here. You be the judge. Spencer Jonathan, as it go right off of his stick. Brayley Abrams thought he tucked it home, but in the crease, says the official. So no goal there for Brayley Abrams or the Tonawanda Junior Braves, as that one nearly rolled past Jackson Bob Pragel, but thankfully for the Tonawanda goaltender, it rolled wide as the Junior Braves make their way up the floor. Clyde Jonathan goes down low. Smith with this shot wide of the net. Ball off the boards. Flip down low. They score! Brayley Abrams quick sticks it into the back of the net. His hat trick goal, and Tonawanda leads by 9. And here you can see the goal here from Brayley Abrams. Jonathan flips it over. Another point for Kelvin Jonathan. He's got 3 goals in this one. An excellent performance from him, as he's been a big reason why this Tonawanda Junior Braves team is out in front by 9 here over the Six Nations Fire. Ball taken away here by the Fire. Lamaestua, another former Tonawanda Brave, is crunched there by 2 Junior Braves, and it will be a penalty coming up against Tonawanda, no doubt about it, as we'll give you another look at it here. Lamaestua just legging the ball up the floor, but you can see 2 Junior Braves come in, crunch him. Wise brought the guilty party as he got over the top of his man. And now the power play back out onto the floor for the Six Nations Fire as they look to find a spark and try and work their way back into this game. Fire entered today second in the Can-Am or in the First Nations League standings, as the shot from Paulus is denied by Pragel. Moses bringing the ball up the far side. Great speed on display from Moses, as we have some extracurricular activity down at the other end. And both guys will be headed to the penalty box, as Brayley Abrams, along with, or no, I guess both guys aren't going. It looks like just Dirksen is headed over. I thought I saw the official pulling them both, but just one here, as we will now be evened up for the next minute 30. Then after it will be 30 seconds of a power play for the Tonawanda Junior Braves. But for right now, 4-on-4 lacrosse here at Logan Field. Smith into the middle. Abrams now into the far side of the floor. Jonathan looking for another one. Now Spencer Jonathan. He's got a pair tonight. Shot is stopped there by Sandy. John Hill legging it up the floor. Hill gonna peel back and wait for a friendly face to find their way open. He has an Ace Abrams. Ace looking to be the ace here for Six Nations, as the pass dropped by Bowden Hill. Hill gonna fight hard for it in the corner. Pushed up into the boards, but a shot clock violation will occur here as possession goes to Tonawanda. Braley Abrams out there with Redmond. Now Abrams. Long rip there, nearly squeaks past, but it goes wide as the Akron High School star nearly put that one into the back of the net for the 4th time today. Into the middle, pass is dropped there by Henry. Ace Abrams was looking for him. Now Redmond back the other way, and we're going to have a go. Paulus and Jacobs. We got a scrap. Big right from Jacobs. They're dealing. Paulus returning favor. Jacobs giving him a couple rights. Now Paulus going to give him a few more. Jacobs wobbles Paulus here. Another right delivered by Paulus. Jacobs looking to throw in a few more as these two don't look done. As everybody loving it here at Logan Field. Just talking with our camera operator, Jason Pragle. He's saying, didn't track the punches on that one. Oh, my goodness. I thought you had them all. They were delivering lefts and rights there as, well, that was the end of it there. My goodness. I wish I would have clipped off more there. That was exciting. That was my first fight. I've never gotten to call one before. That's interesting. But as the tempers continue to flare here at Logan Field, we will step aside. Thank you to Peachtree for your sponsorship here as we step aside. As we are back now on Blue Squatch Productions, we had quite the entertaining fight there, but that means the night for Caleb Paulus along with Harlan Jacobs has come to an end as they have been ejected after the fight. The words continuing to be said here between the benches as there's no love lost between these two teams. We got to see a bit into the budding rivalry here at the end of the second period. A lot of former Braves on this Fire team, so a lot of familiarity between these two squads, and with the scoreline being the way it is, it leads to some of those tempers flaring here, as we got to see earlier with Caleb Paulus having it out with Harlan Jacobs. And now we're looking like we might have another here. Jake Smith, as he's got a few people chasing after him. Guys, get out and more in the floor here. Everything is breaking out here as this is getting ugly quick. Everybody having it out now, and benches are beginning to clear. Braley Abrams looking for a dance partner as now we're continuing to hear the words from both sides, as it looked like Jake Smith was being chased after by some Six Nations players. Dara Sundown, I believe, was the man looking to have it out with Smith. Smith wanted to get back to the bench and keep playing the game, but ends up turning into quite the ordeal, as words continuing to be exchanged here right now. The scoreline massively in favor of Tonawanda, and if things continue, we might have to end this one a bit early. Shame to possibly have to end such a great game early like this, but right now we just cannot keep it going with the constant threat of the fights breaking out on the floor. As one more time, we will step aside here on Blue Squatch Production. And we are back now on Blue Squatch Productions. I could hear our officiating crew on the floor tell everybody here the game is done, as this one has been called early. And you can't really be surprised. Everything just fell apart here, as now the announcement made to the crowd, the Tonawanda Braves, they're faithful letting them know, as everyone here in Tonawanda overjoyed as a Six Nations player will send a ball into the woods. The Junior Braves ready to shake hands here. Six Nations waiting to join them. Maybe we shouldn't have any handshakes with how this one has went, but as I said earlier, just a shame that a great game had to come to an end early because of the fighting and the extracurricular activities, but rather that than have somebody get hurt or have something bad happen. So got to think about the big picture here in these situations, as the Junior Braves out there saluting their fans. Imagine Six Nations just headed back to the locker room now, as apologies to everyone out there watching, but this one has been called. It'll end a bit early, but what a game it was. The final score, the Tonawanda Junior Braves 11, the Six Nations Fire 2, as we'll go through the chat here a little bit. Holy moly, this chat's been blowing up here the last few minutes. Utica Yeti, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Everybody's loving the fight. Man, Greg getting on Jason for not tracking the punches a little bit. I see that in there. Sweet fight, a lot of people are saying. And then Jason's saying if anybody wants to track punches next time, we got plenty of room up here. So what a game it was, as we will now officially step aside here. Just going to one more time say thank you to Peachtree, the Little Shed in the Woods, for their support and for their sponsorship here today. Check them out at 420 Bloomingdale Road here on the Tonawanda Seneca Nation. As for the Six Nations Fire, they will stay on the road as they have a tough test coming up against the Seneca War Chiefs in what should be a good game. And then they're going to end their season at home, or at least the rest of their scheduled season at this point. They might have a few games to make up, but they will drop to 4-2, and then they'll close out the month of June at home against the Tomahawks, and then another home game against the War Chiefs before a big tilt on July 1st, as these two teams will match up again, this time taking place at the ILA in Six Nations, and I'm looking forward to that one, as I'm sure Johnny and Marshall Paulus will have their squad ready to go for that game. As for the Junior Braves, they will head on the road to take on the Allegheny Junior Arrows in a few nights on the 15th of June. Then they'll get ready for their final home game of the season against the Seneca War Chiefs on June 17th. So one more time. The final score in this ball game, the Six Nations Fire 2, the Tonawanda Junior Braves 11, as we will go final here from Logan Field. That'll be all for today from Blue Squatch Productions. I have been Trevor Butts saying so long from Logan Field.